Right. So very good morning, all of you, both offline and online. I think YouTube one by one they're getting joined. Right. So last week we got the break. So let us deal with this 2 weeks, whatever be the important, both national and international. So one of the aspect and the constitutional aspect also there's this India's ninth national party now. Okay, the game app. Okay, what is app? Aam Aadmi Party became the ninth. So what are the other eight? Hmm. Okay. I'm not getting the eight. So possibility of asking question in the exam, which of the following is a national party, which of the following is not a national party. Okay. Hmm. So these are the existing eight national parties. The BJP, Congress, BSP, Bahujan Samaj Party, even Trinamool Congress, which has their main roots in West Bengal. That's the thing. Then we have NPP, National People's Party. This mostly will present in the northeastern part. The National Congress Party, NCP in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar's. Then CPI and CPI-M. So all these eight are the existing national parties. Okay, very important bit in a way it is, because always recently in the group one also you'll find which of the following is true, which of the following is not. These questions are appearing in the examinations regularly. So take care accordingly. And of course, these are the symbols as well. Okay. So that you are aware of which party symbol is what. Now, Aam Aadmi Party joined in the run. So the question arises, even the constitutional issues, what is national party? That means other than national, it may be regional or state level party. Then who will decide whether it is a national party or state party? And what is the criteria of it? Now that in Telangana, you have the issue. The TRS transformed into BRS, Bharatiya. Can you consider it as national party? Technically not. Okay, you may name it, but to make it technically it is. Plus last class we discussed. So one of the parties, for example, Janasena last is even recognition as a party, the state party. So there is certain rules and regulations, the stipulations need to be fulfilled. And final authority is who? Election Commission. So Election Commission of India will be the deciding factor. So which article is stipulating Election Commission? Indian Constitution 324. Very important article, remember that. Out of 395 articles, once you are talking about, 324 regularly appear in the examination. Okay, about this Election Commission. So as per the orders of symbols and everything, they will decide. So when it comes to the national party, three criteria has to be fulfilled. Then only it was considered as national party. Either of it. Okay. So it should be recognized in 4 or more states. This is the most important. It should be recognized, not just registered. Okay. You have to differentiate from that. For example, now Sharmila's party, it was registered. Okay. So they will give an opportunity to contest in the elections on behalf of the party. Then later it has to prove itself and fulfill the criteria. Then only it will be recognized whether the state party or the national party. So now that issue of the national party, minimum it should be 4 or more states, its presence. Or, because this is the important issue you have to consider. So whenever you use the word or, any of the 3 criteria, if it is fulfilled, is sufficient, right? Candidates polled at least 6% of the total valid votes, not just polled votes. Once in civil services, that question it is. Okay, which is the following is true and false when a question is valid votes, they use polled votes also there. And you should be able to differentiate that. Okay, so few votes may not be valid. Of course, now electronic issue is there, so we don't have much. Okay, invalid votes. So previously, so when the paper mode and folding part, there are innumerable issues. Okay, in any 4 or more, again same thing here, in the last Lok Sabha or assembly elections, and again within this at least 4 MPs in the last Lok Sabha polls. Anywhere else, that means when 4 or more states, and on average at least 1. It need not be only from 1. Okay, every state 1. Overall 4 is sufficient. Okay, that too in the last Lok Sabha only. Okay, not Rajya Sabha. Why? It's a Lok Sabha is a direct elections. Rajya Sabha is not direct election, right? It is a indirect election. Who will elect the members of Rajya Sabha? MLAs, okay, state MLAs elects. Every state has specific quota, and accordingly they will choose it. So that won't be taken into consideration. Only Lok Sabha or Assembly only will be taken into consideration. And finally, has owned at least 2% of the total seats in the Lok Sabha from less than 3 states. Even if it is less than 3, sorry, not less than 3, here if it is a 2% of the total seats in the Lok Sabha, how many seats in Lok Sabha? 545 is the stipulated strength, maximum strength, is it? Right now. Previously, we have 2 seats from allocated for Anglo-Indians nominated. So 543 elected, but now no nomination criteria. So we have to wait and see this demarcation of constituencies. If at all done, they may go ahead up to this. Up to maximum even 550 is permitted strength. Till then, we don't require any constitutional amendment. If it is more than that, you require. The reason why Telangana and Andhra state they're asking increasing more. Okay, but anyhow, that was not done. Even now, Ladakh, for example, Ladakh was not assigned any assembly now, right? Though Union Territory it is, only Kashmir they're given. So there's a demand from them. Why don't you increase at least the parliamentary seats for Ladakh or put it under which schedule? 6th schedule, so that treat on par with other tribal states. So different demands arising from different quarters in a way. So at least here the total percent in the 3 or more states, it should be not less than 3. If it is able to get, okay, now that we are 245, so 2% of it we should able to get is sufficient. But again, criteria is minimum 3, isn't it? Though here in everywhere, first 2 criteria 4 or more, 4 or more, and when the 2% of the total seats get in minimum 3, yes, they can be so. So all this criteria made app now as a national party. It has presence in Delhi as well as in Punjab, now in Gujarat. So once it's so, then it will be on this issue. So as there's a much talked about keeping these constitutional points, and once a party recognized as a national party, what are the benefits that they will get it? So first thing is they will get this reserved symbol exclusively to the candidate it has nominated across India. Anywhere else, for example, only 3 states is present and 2% states. Anywhere else, still it is contesting. It can contest on the same symbol because that is the most important, okay, part. And of course, broadcast and telecast rights and the general elections. Though nobody is much worried about Doordarshan once upon a time, that is only more. But still, even today, in the rural areas, still, okay, it have its own, okay, candidates. Then the national party also gets the benefits of having a maximum of what we call 40 star campaigners during these general elections. When you say star campaigner, mainly, no, if we say this election expenditure, okay, every party or every candidate, otherwise we can call this MLA or MP, it is stipulated. You can't spend more than that. But when you assign, yes, for the star campaigner, that won't be considered as the expenditure of the candidate also. So because of that, they will assign, yes, how many. So 40 star campaigners once they are coming and going. The reason why now, the other day, Munugode elections, all the 3 candidates, main candidates, they spent less than 1 crore as per the election commission report. So it's a big laughing joke, no doubt about it. But there also they depend because so many star campaigners on behalf of BJP, on behalf of Congress, okay, or TRS, okay, when the thing is concerned, then it's out of question. Okay, that will be done. Then it get the government bungalow in Delhi for its national president's office and sports, okay, and that to a subsidized rates you will get. So always they will look for these benefits. Then when you come to the state party, at least 6% of votes. Okay, last time we discussed this, but still, okay, remember this 6% vote share in the last assembly elections and have at least 2 MLAs or 6% or whenever the concept or 6% vote share in the last Lok Sabha election from the state and at least 1 MP they have. Okay, or 3% of the total number of seats or 3 seats, which is more in the last assembly, or at least 1 MP for every 25 members, or any fraction allotted to state Lok Sabha. They have at least 8% of the total valid vote in the last assembly elections or Lok Sabha election from the state. Okay, so when the Janasena is not able to fulfill these conditions, so it lost its status. It got, I think, 6%, if I'm subject to correction all the way, and only one, not 2 MLAs. So this is the state level. So national party, state party. So we don't have any other regional parties. Regional party, state party, it means the same here. Okay. Is it clear? So quickly, if you look at the differences between this national party and the state party. Here, this point is very much exclusive symbol throughout the country, whereas it is reserved only in the particular state. For example, Telugu Desam party, if you say this, the cycle is a symbol of another party also in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so you can't claim that symbol. Whereas if that be the case, yes, it should be all the way. And state party, once 3 or more, here is 1 or 2. If it is restricted, it consider the state, and at least 4. This, of course, a major difference you will find. Right? So any doubt on this parties issue? So election commission will take care and recognition, de-recognition of the party if the issues is not fulfilled. Okay. Then the next issue, much controversial again, the states can enact laws on uniform civil code. Okay. So UCC is again in the news. One of the reasons is that few states all started appointing committees to take steps towards uniform civil code in that particular state. And the first state, what it is recently, Uttarakhand was the first to set up a panel to explore this possibility of common civil code. Now even Gujarat also announced, and one by one lining up the BJP ruled states towards it. So the big question arises, will the state have that power to make? So in tune with this, he issued the state. So what is common civil code or uniform civil code? Why we don't have? Why now the issue? Of course, this issue is going on from a long time. And again, as recently, it was introduced in the Rajya Sabha. A bill was introduced in the Rajya Sabha as well, but not by the government, but by a member of the BJP. Okay, of course, the member belonged to the BJP party. What is that bill is called? It's a private bill. What's the difference between private bill and public bill? Right, good. If the minister introduced the bill, it is the public bill. Other than the minister, it's a private bill. Is a ruling party or opposition party member? Or any member. Okay, it doesn't matter whether ruling party or opposition party. They introduce, that itself is sufficient. So that also attracted the attention of the nation as well as the international community also, because something is now disturbing the existing fabric. Okay, towards betterment or not is the next question. Okay, so right now you are going on a particular track, now it's getting disturbed. So we have to wait and see what is going to happen. So the quick recollection of this uniform civil code, when you say this civil code, not criminal code. So the two aspects, civil and criminal. Okay, when you are talking about the opposite, we say this, when it's criminal, yes, we have the already common criminal code is there. Indian Penal Code is common for all. Criminal Procedure Code, CRPC, common for all. So once you committed a crime, say the murder, the kidnap, rape, everything is concerned, even the theft, all will be punished according to the law. No discrimination on the basis of any grounds. Okay, including religion, race, caste, sex, etc., etc. Of course, variation is there regarding children. Okay, the major and minor. Okay, as the minor, especially those who are less than the age of 18, 14, 7, all the things are there. Below 7, completely innocent. They don't know the consequences. Between 7 and 12, variations. 12 and 18, as an adolescents. Okay, so the terms and conditions. But finally, there no differentiation. No rich and poor. All are equal before the eyes of law. Equal protection is granted to all without any discrimination. Which article is stipulating that? Equality before law, equal protection of law. Article 14, the fundamental rights. Is that applies only to the citizen or all the people living in the country? All persons, right? So that clearly stipulated in a way. So you have the common criminal code, but we don't have the common civil code. civil related to your day-to-day life, and mainly concerned with the marriage, divorce issues, property, okay, that is hereditary issues involves here. Even from the because all this criminal procedure codes, Indian Penal Code, made by whom? The Britishers themselves, right? During the British regime itself, it was initiated. Even the Britishers has not dared enough to have the common civil code. They don't want to disturb that or entered into that arena. And the fathers of the constitution also feel that even already country divided on religion, as the practices of religion differ from one religion to another, let us not to disturb at this juncture. But stipulated, if not today, in future, yes, you should. So it's mentioned in the constitution as a guideline. In future, the nation shall strive for common civil code, where it is DP, Directive Principles of State Policy. Which article? Article 44. Even remembering this also, right? 4 common. Easy to remember, this is also that. 44 stipulated that, okay, state shall strive for, okay, uniform civil code. As the word state shall strive for, what is the meaning of the state? Is the central government, state government? Is the issue when it arises. Clearly it mentioned, if you say this article 12 of the fundamental rights, state implies, okay. So everywhere, in every part, whatever be the words used, there will be a definition in the constitution itself. So even the directive principles, when the word directive principles of state policy, okay. So what implies the state? Already clearly mentioned. So state doesn't mean that Andhra, Telangana here. The other provinces in the British regime we call provinces. Even Pakistan now states are called provinces. China they're called provinces. America they are called as states. So different criteria is there for the name of these local units. So clearly there. So the central government as well as state government issues will be there. So is a directive, and directive principles of state policy are non-justiciable. Right? What it means? There's no legal sanction behind it. What it means? It is up to the government, yeah, to implement or not to implement. But still, these are the guidelines, the instrument of instructions to the government in its policy making. And from 1950 onwards, if you see this, yes, government is from the day one started implementing the directive principles. Why? The very aim of directive principle is establishment of welfare state. So all welfare schemes, if the government wanted to, those are everything is there in the no option. So one among them is this. Which part of the constitution deals with? Part 4. Right. Samjan Jameen Aparna always talking agree. Good enough. Part 4. Okay. So now that issue arises, yes, when it is there, Parliament have no doubt have the power. Will the states also have the power? We adopted a federation, but not completely true federation. A federal structure, unitary in spirit. So generally we call it a quasi-federal structure. But the constitution uses the word union of states. The word federation nowhere used in the constitution, right? So there's the legislative division of powers between central government and state government. Union list, state list, concurrent list. Where they were mentioned? 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Very good. The 7th schedule clearly mentioned about this. So when 7th schedule mentioned, so it's very crystal clear. Entry 5 of the list 3, that is the concurrent list of the 7th schedule, is talking about these issues. Okay, succession, wills, joint family, partition, marriage, divorce related, all these are in the concurrent list. So concurrent implies both, okay, or either central government or state government. It is either parliament or state assembly can make a legislation. Okay, so first power is there for the right, and when the uniform civil code mainly concerned with the marriage divorce related now most of the issues. For example, recently the Kerala governor stated one point that most of the Hindus also converting into Islam to have more wives. Okay, because the Islam permits the polygamy, whereas Hinduism will not. Is a monogamy, single wife or single husband. But it's not the case with Islam. So when this issue of love jihad and ever arises, the conversions, forcible conversions, so you are compelled in one form or the another. So compulsion includes the conditions as well. It's not voluntary. You are luring towards something for something. So in that context, he too stated. So why we have these differentiations? Then the divorce, already the Supreme Court banned, and Parliament also taken steps that criminalized the triple talaq. Okay, very heinous practice within the Islam. If you uttered talaq, talaq, talaq 3 times, even out of emotions, okay, even out of anger, okay, as part of the moment, that considered as divorce, and exclusively for the male, it's available, not for the female. Again, so the women are at the disadvantaged arena there. So finally, the Supreme Court put an end to the triple talaq. You can follow the processes, but not this. And Parliament criminalized this. If somebody has done it, up to 3 years of jail, even they made it. So it is a step towards uniform civil code. We can't say that there is an uniform. It's a step towards. Okay, because either Hindus, Muslim, Christians in India, the laws are that marriage you can have anyway as you like. Nobody is going to question. Even now, the Supreme Court in this, even living relationships is together considered. But when it comes to the divorce, only through the court of law, because the emotions and passions are but natural, angry sir. So if you take the decision, it's affecting the life. So law will come into the fore. So when law is coming to the fore regarding all religions except Muslims, why can't the Muslim woman too can avail this benefits? So the question arises whose, whether the Hindu law will automatically common or others. So the bigger issue that will be a much debated, okay, the pros and cons and everything. Anyhow, here our constitutional point make it yes now states and they will get the power under this entry 5 or list 3 of the concurrent list. So concurrent list is in the 7th schedule. So that point you have to keep in mind. And one more also quick recollection. If the both the central government and state government made a law, it's finally the central law that prevail. Okay, not the state law. Okay. Then now that it was introduced in the Rajya Sabha, the bill, and as the private members bill, possibility it may be for discussion. If adopted, again Lok Sabha it will come. Then finalize this, yes, it is going to be. But right now the bill is stipulating what? Appoint a panel. That point you have to keep in mind. Even Uttarakhand, the first state to set up a panel First, let the panel be created. Then the panel will come out with the recommendations. Then discuss. Then come out. Okay. So it is not implemented or it is not taken up by assembly directly. Even now in the Rajya Sabha, the proposal is to establish a panel to look into the issue. Okay. So let us see how the government will respond to it. So this is Article 14 and everything in this. Any doubt? On this? Anyhow, here this is the Hindu cutting. So here one issue is also this. This is entirely then till new system comes, vacancies will be an issue. What is this is about? Quick recollection. Vacancies in the higher judiciary, that is in Supreme Court and High Court, judges. Recently Supreme Court said we are forwarding the names, but government is not approving immediately. And the government is otherwise saying yes, we are doing our way. And there's a clash between the executive and judiciary regarding appointment, right? So as per the constitution, president had the power to appoint judges of Supreme Court and High Court, but it so happened that it was usurped. The power was taken over by the judiciary. A collegium system came up. Telugulo antam kada kabja ani. Okay, so it's completely court owned it now with a system of collegium. Justified or not is the next question. So collegium consisting of how many judges? Chief Justice plus 4 judges. So 5. Of course, presently it is 6. Later is going to be 5 again. So they will recommend. Then the government president has to accept. If not, he can send it back. But he cannot appoint on his own. President can do so only on the reference made by the collegium. Right now, that is the system. Vis-a-vis with the judges' cases is concerned. Though NJOC came, National Judicial Appointing Commission, but it was put an end by the Supreme Court again. It was nullified. It's not valid. So if at all government wished to, it has to create a new system. That is what the new system, until a new system is created. Presently, the government has to adhere to. So we discussed, I think, last part already, right? Any doubt on this collegium system? Okay. Then one more thing, which I feel it is this, the other day, and I saw this group 1 related only. So the High Court talking about horizontal reservations. A quick recollection. What is the horizontal vertical reservations? Okay. The moment it comes, some call I received. Okay. So what is this horizontal vertical? Then I feel that, okay, I should inform you as well. So reservation of seats, either educational or in the recruitment process. Right now we have scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, OBCs. Now the new EWS. Okay. Reservation is going. That is vertical or horizontal? Here, the symbolically you have given it up. All right. So when you say this SCs, they will get how much? 15% reservation. ST 7.5, right? OBC 27%. Now EBC, economically weaker sections, 10%. So this is all comes under, okay, and general category, okay, or we call this open category. The remaining is, this all comes under this all, no, looks like, right? This is vertical, okay. Now when it comes to the women, say for example 1/3 seats were reserved for women, 1/3 in SC, 1/3 in ST, 1/3 in OBC, 1/3 in EWS, 1/3 in overall. That is called horizontal. Which article is stipulating that? Women reservation. Say for SC, STs, OBCs, when the constitution came into force, there's nothing, no reservation, right? This clause was added later, 1516, right? When you're talking about reservations in educational, which article? 15. 16 is employment. Okay, last time we discussed this in a way. Clause 4 was added later, 15:4, 16:4. So those are talking about vertical reservations, socially and economically backward class. Am I right? Absolutely wrong. In the beginning, SEBC means educational, not economical. Okay, socially, and when you talked about this 15:4, 16:4, SEBC. Initial word is educational, not economic. Okay, not economic. Educational it is. Backward class. The reason why, when the EBC, now sorry, that EWS reservation issue arises, they're saying this is against the constitution. Initially stipulated only thing is economic criteria is not taken. So educational background is based on the caste. As the Hinduism, the caste is a peculiar phenomena, and hitherto some caste was oppressed, suppressed, and depressed. So to render the helping hand, that is we call the concept of social justice, we made it. So why economic? Okay, but still the government has taken economic criteria and justified itself that even among the so-called other castes, the other poor are there. Let them render the helping hand to the very poor among the poor, if at all you considered it is. So economic criteria, 8 lakhs and below annual income they stipulated. And this is not a new. Supreme Court also upheld long back this criteria. When you talk about OBC 27% reservation, they introduced a concept called as creamy layer. Creamy layer in OBC. What is this creamy layer in OBC? 8 lakhs they are not availed. So better off sections among the OBCs were deprived by Supreme Court itself long back 1990. So that means already economic criteria was inserted by Supreme Court. So now it is nothing but a logical extension of it. The reason why Supreme Court has not nullified the economic criteria. Then also it stipulated that 50% is only a flexible aspect. You can't say that's research. So EWS. So the issue arises when it comes to the women. Yes, is an horizontal. So when you give the physically handicapped persons, or even any other criteria, once you are including the women, this will come under. Now, especially the women issue arises is when you talked about women. This they'll come under this horizontal, and 15 clause 3. Okay, the state shall strive for the betterment of women and children. They are given in a way. Okay, and that was added by which amendment? 15:4, 16:4 is very first amendment itself. Then 15:3 also first. Huh? Huh? It is there from the day one. It's not added. Okay. For the women and children, it is in the original constitution itself. Okay, it's in the original. It is not added one. So steps taken for that, for the both. Okay. So in tune with this, they get overall the case only they get the clarification. Nothing more, because High Court and Supreme Court are the final interpreter of the Constitution. So when any doubt arises, yes, you can seek the meaning of the particular word. Now in this case, they are given the meaning. That's it. And this was done by number of high courts in number of times, including the Supreme Court in different issues, including the Rajasthan and all the things also be that. Okay, so this you can say this one. Okay, 15.3 horizontal reservation for the women. So women, veterans, even transgender communities, individual with all disabilities comes under this horizontals. Okay, clear? Then come to other issue. This Indo-China issue is continuously taking the headlines, and we don't know sometimes the reason also why China always try to irritate India. Okay, vis-a-vis this border is concerned. Now China builds ropeway roads near Tri Junction. The issue came it up. Okay, these are all the roads. Okay, the ropeway they are making all the way it is concerned. And just before that, you have the China clashes in Tawang sector. Okay, the Tawang sector is here. So why this is happening? Okay, continuously this LAC become the issue. What is the LAC? Line of actual control. It's the border line between, who stipulated that? Is it India and China agreed LAC? What is the official border line? India China? McMahon. McMahon line is the de jure. De jure is as per law. It's a McMahon line. Then why LAC came? From when it came? So actually it's all McMahon. This LAC arises only after 1962 when Indo-China war arises. So this part of Aksachin and some part of Arunachal Pradesh was occupied by China. How much length? Total length? 3488. 3,488 kilometers of border. That was asked already. Group 2, no, Group 1. This appeared in the examinations. Okay. So last year with the Ganwan Valley, the issues arises. There's in Ladakh. There are other areas like Demchok, Trig Heights, Dumchali, Pangso Lake, Chumar, Spanga. These are all comes under this Ladakh area. Okay, the main controversies. Then few is in Himachal Pradesh, Kaurik, Shipkala. Same thing in Uttarakhand, Barhoti, Pulan. Now Arunachal Pradesh, Namka. These are all the areas. Now presently, the other day, the clashes happens is Angse areas. So it says this around 300 transgressions. They came also long back in 2017 in this Tri Junction, near Tri Junction. That's what we call a Doklam face off. And finally resolved almost after 75 days of standoff, that is able to resolve it is. So why this is happening is the major issues. The other when you say Tawang is here, this is a place. Tawang is in Arunachal Pradesh on the western part of, okay, or otherwise, okay, northwest part of Arunachal Pradesh. You will find this Tawang, and here the Tibet. What is the significance of Tawang? Even those who are preparing for the mains has to be keep in mind very much these issues, because strategic significance will always be there. Okay, and the fact also we had to, because it's all hilly areas. Okay, it will be the top. So when 1914, when the British India, Tibet, China, they made to sort out the border issue, and this agreement arises wherein this McMahon line, and the minor issue is there between Tibet and British India regarding Tawang, and British convinced Tibet to made it part of India, though it's not a border issues. At the time, still it is under the control of Tibet. So, by agreement, Tibet handed over Tawang to British India. 1914. So now the British India, the power transfer to India, Tawang automatically became part of India. But 1959, China attacked Tibet and occupied Tibet. So now Tibet is part of China. As once upon time this Tawang is in Tibet, so this Tawang also should be ours. That's what the historical claims the China make on this issue. And another point, irritating point for China is, at that time, the spiritual leader of Tibet, Dalai Lama, escaped to India. So China not able to capture him. And he escaped via Tawang. Okay, there's a big monastery is there in Tawang, the Buddhist monastery even today. So come what may, they want this Tawang. Okay, so still they have eyes on that. Even entire Arunachal Pradesh they want, and they consider Arunachal Pradesh as South Tibet. Okay, they described a number of villages on the borders of Arunachal Pradesh. They renamed as Chinese with the Chinese names and Tibetan names. So the reason why whenever an opportunity comes, they will try to win this. So they in a way they are checking the alertness of Indians, isn't it? So if you are not alert, inch by inch, they will try to occupy in one form or the another. So this issue, because the strategically very important this Tawang is, right? So when the Tawang, all the clashes now occurred here, the place if you say Arunachal Pradesh, here on the western part of Arunachal Pradesh, we don't have other state. It is the Bhutan, another country itself. Then of course here we have Sikkim, ours. So between Sikkim of India and of course once upon a time Sikkim is also independent country. When Sikkim became part of India, has it become its own part of India or we occupied? Remember 1961 we occupied Goa. Goa was occupied one from Portuguese. But Sikkim is not that. Sikkim is a protectorate of India. We used to take care from the day one, its defense, foreign affairs, currency printing, everything. So at one point, Sikkim feel that why we are separate, let be part of India. So a referendum was held in Sikkim, and people of Sikkim voted in favor. Accordingly, in 74 it became associate state, and 75 it became full-fledged state through the referendum. Okay, that's all the thing happened. So now that is the part. In between, here again you have Nepal, right? So Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan. If they consider this line is different, now that it's a part of India, the issue is very crucial. Okay, and protecting this very much is concerned. Okay, though it looks like the various all are hill areas, and this is the tri junction, right? All the way the Doklam, the border issue. So you can understand the point here, the point here, cornering. It affects the Bhutan as well, and Bhutan will not maintain its own army. Again, India is the protector. Okay, its issues has to taken care. So when the Doklam is part and parcel of Bhutan, not in India. Still, we stand with the Bhutan. Of course, if the Bhutan said not necessary, then we don't have option. So we have to render our services only if the Bhutan asked. Okay, not otherwise. So as we have a good relationship with the Bhutan all the way, it's going on. And if this Doklam, either here or here, that is, because it's upper hand, it has the very easily it can enter into the rest of India. These are all what our northeast, the states are there. And this part, what we call Chicken Neck, Siliguri corridor. So once you cut on this way, okay, this part is concerned. This called hardly 25 kilometers of stretch. It will affect the entire India will be cut off from the rest of India, the northeastern part. So is again Bangladesh, another country. So crucial part. So you can understand strategically, China wanted to have the upper hand here in case of the war. So we have to protect this. Again, here the Myanmar. These are all right when northeastern states is surrounded in a way. So Myanmar here, Tibet here, I mean now the China here, the Bhutan here, the Nepal, how the things. Okay. But this is of course tri-junction when considered Sikkim. These are all the Siliguri corridor, hardly 25 kilometers stretch. The Bangladesh, Nepal, the Bhutan in between. So strategical significance is very much there. The reason why China continuously wants it, and so far it has not given the clarification of what actually LAC is. India is number of times put stipulating this. Let us say at least clarify where this LAC is. But China is postponing and postponing. But anyhow, at the time when the Rajiv Gandhi, the Prime Minister, said, keep the border issue aside, let us have the cooperation. So with that spirit, right now, our trade and other relations are going on, right? Unabated in a way. But anyhow, trade deficit is whose favor? Right now in Chinese favor only. Okay, nearly I think $56 billion or so it's an upper hand. Okay, the related. And more of imports rather than exports. Hardly 8% only we are, ours is export part. Okay, the thing is concerned and remaining mainly China, the importing part. Then, of course, one more issue in this Arunachal Pradesh issue, the government recently notified the 2,000 kilometers of long highway on this. So from Tawang to Vijayanagar, the N1 border. As China is doing its own way, the roads issue, ropeways is, we are also good. We don't have an option also. And actually, this is the old project, not the new. But for different reasons, it is getting stopped. Even at long back when 2016-17, the same project we assigned to Japan. Japan is ready to construct this because the technologies we have to use a lot because all hilly terrain. So, but somehow at the last minute, because of the complete opposition from China at that point of time, and Japan don't want to take the risk of much, and it's withdrawn from this program. At the time, it's completely funded by Japan and ADB, Asian Development Bank, Manila based and funded by Japan related issue. But now the government thought about let us going ahead on its own. It's taking the help of other countries regarding technology, but funding make it our part is concerned. So from Tawang, this is how the east coming. Okay, exactly, and entire the border we wanted to have the because that is very important. The fast movement of the troops related is very crucial. Okay. Any issue on Indochina? Again, another related an Asian. Again in the news. Last time also we discussed Asian meet is going on. So 10 countries in Asian Association for Southeast Asian nations, and one more country is about to join in Asian. What is that? East Timor. Okay, so Asian is going to be 11. So I think by next meeting it is going to be 11. Okay, so last class only we discussed that. Now the Asian issued a statement vis-a-vis with India and other countries are concerned. Myanmar is one of the Asian country. Recently an issue in Myanmar. What is that? There is a military coup. The democratic elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi was replaced by military. And apart from this, there is a heavy-handedness on these Democrats. Their arrests are going on. Their ill treatment is there. The people get killed, imprisoned, all the things. Okay, or sometimes the barbarous practices also going on there. So other countries are concerned, and every country is suggesting Myanmar to back to democracy. As it's a nation member, Asian countries also see that the normalcy will be restored. And they come up with the 5-point formula. So that they asked India and other countries to adhere to this 5-point formula so that relations will be continued in amicable way, not in any other format. Okay. So they come up with this 5 this that is what they call Asian way. So these are the 5 points consensus, Asian consensus they call. An immediate end to violence in the country, that is in Myanmar, come what may it is, and everyone is talking about this and dialogue among all parties. Right now, the military is not interested to have the dialogue, but still it is concerned. And appointment of the special envoy, okay, towards taking care of this dialogue related between the government and the parties, and humanitarian assistance by Asian only, because now because of that the people of Myanmar are suffering. So let you extend, and number of countries are almost all impose the sanctions. So the Myanmar is suffering. So Asian itself should take care. And special envoys visit to Myanmar. That is special envoys from Asian part. They will visit. So they said Asian is taking care. You need not worry. So other countries ask them. Okay. So that the relations will not be strained. Because as is a group member, you'll see that they'll adhere to the group. This is what way, Asian consensus. This is a speciality of the Asian countries. If anything, something is going to happen with Asia, they try to solve themselves without the interference of any third party. That is the Asian way. Either, and they will not involve in the domestic affairs of each other country. But at the same time, they will help each other. Okay, sort out the issues. As the policy is not to involve in domestic affairs, either Asian has not done, but it becomes an international issue and something, and come up with the Asian consensus. We only solve it. No need for involvement of other country. So it is expediting the process. So we have to wait and see how quickly it is going to be provide a solution to this Myanmar problem. And then the other day, okay, December 16th, the Vijay Diwas was celebrated, keeping in view the liberation of Bangladesh. So why we are celebrating when Bangladesh get liberated? Quick recollection. So 1971, right? Bangladesh get liberated, get free from Pakistan. So 47, when India get divided, East Pakistan, West Pakistan. So Bangladesh is which Pakistan? East Pakistan. Okay, that's what East Bengal, West Bengal. Now in India we have West Bengal, not the East Bengal. When that Bengal division happened? 1905. Who was the Governor General? Karjan, Lord Karjan. Good. Okay. At least this sort of thing arises. Try to recollect. There's a only simple way of revision. Okay, a holistic revision. We called it. Okay. So that is what they said. That sow the seeds of partition in a way. Okay, divide and rule policy all the way it is concerned. Then when it comes to the thing is concerned, 71, there's a East Pakistan, West Pakistan, the treatment issues arises. A number of reasons are there. Finally, the people were fed up, revolted under the leadership of whom? Mukti Bahini. Okay, at the time is an organization headed by Shekhur Rahman. Okay, any link with him to the present Prime Minister of Bangladesh? Muzaffar Rahman, father only, right? So when the people, number of people there, not able to live in, came to India. So we call them as refugees. Okay, millions is considered, and giving shelter become is a big task for it. So at that time, Indira Gandhi is of the opinion that a quick decision has to be taken. So initially, we stopped airway because East Pakistan, West Pakistan, easy way is airway. Otherwise, sea route they had to come, or road, it's very long. Thinking that possibility Pakistan may drop the bomb, but still, the Pakistan initiated bombing on India. So once process started, the war started, and Pakistan at that time feel it gets strengthened with the help of America and Britain, and both America and Britain send its forces in favor of Pakistan. America sent its 7th Fleet, right, which was stationed at the time in Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia is, once in Group 1 that question asked, the naval base of America in Indian Ocean. American naval base in Indian Ocean, Diego Garcia. So they sent their 7th Fleet from that, and the UK also sent its naval forces, air forces also in favor of Pakistan. So immediately we entered agreement with Russia. So that is the shred ship. Okay, played by Indira Gandhi at the time. Even Americans and Britain never expected that Russia will step in. Okay, so once the peace and friendship treaty with Russia, 1971, attack on any country treated as attack on both the countries. So Russia immediately sent its the nuclear submarine. Okay, thereby ships. Then it sent its nuclear submarine itself. Then America and Britain has no option rather than took the U-turn and back. Otherwise, it's a Cold War scenario at that time. It may become a full-fledged war. So to avoid that, they made. So finally here, the Pakistan put up the war, and that day when finally the war ended, right? We call this the Vijay Diwas. So India played a crucial role in liberation of the thing, and still we made it up because 65 war with Pakistan is still lingering, and because of Russia's mediation, it was stopped. Of course, 48 too we have, but there's a United Nations mediated. But 71, Russia instead of mediation 65, it came in favor of India. Okay. Then, anyhow, here one more thing: Pravas Bharati Divas. Every year we celebrate. Our diaspora is there every part. So let us recognize them, give them a proper recognition. Let them visit India, invest in India, or at least have an emotional attachment within India. So without this concern, regularly we are celebrating. And now 17th Pravas Bharati Divas, they are going to be held in Indore from 8 to 10. Normally this Pravas Divas is celebrated on remembering the Mahatma Gandhi's back to India from South Africa, right? Which year? 1915, right? So this time, Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, the president of the Guyana, will be the chief guest. Okay? The president of Guyana, Muhammad Irfan Ali. Who is the chief guest for Republic Day? Egyptian president. Okay. Then one more thing is that Wassenaar arrangement is in the news. India to assume the chairmanship of this Wassenaar arrangements in 2023. So already 2023, India is going to be the chairman of most. Even G20 it is hosting the meeting, SCO meeting, and in addition this also Wassenaar. So what is Wassenaar? So I don't know we discussed everything or not, but the quick recollection here about India's nuclear journey. Okay, when 1968 NPT was signed, right? What is NPT? Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, non-nuclear non-proliferation treaty. 68 it was signed, 70 it came into force. Right? How many countries signed NPT? So far. But India is not signatory even today. Though 191 countries signed, but India is not a signatory of NPT. We considered it as discriminatory. Isn't it? And 71 war, when America sided with Pakistan, we realized that yes, our fears are right and we have to go ahead. Then we explored nuclear bomb, right? The peaceful nuclear explosion we call. Where? Which year? 1974 in Pokhran. Pokhran is in Rajasthan. So nuclear explosion. Okay, this NPT is in 1970. Though 68 signed, but came into force from 70 because ratification of the countries is required. So when this happened, the world, especially this nuclear weapon state, is of the opinion that India need to be regulated. So they formed energy. What is this? Nuclear supplier group. How many countries are there? Nuclear supplier group. 40. 40 or 48? Nuclear supplier group. Parna mentioned this here. Is it Rajasthan 74? Yeah, right. Okay. Oh. So what for it is? All the raw material, right? That can be used for the nuclear. It is all the countries that uranium, plutonium, whichever the country they are available, they are the members of it, and they are supply only among the members, not to the non-members. Is it India a member? India is not a member of nuclear supplier. Now we want to be a member, but who is obstructing? China is caving. What is the reason? Technical reason. Technical reason is present all the members of energy are signatory of NPT. So it is simply asking you also sign and become the member. Okay. So it is not able to do so. Then later, when India is still continuing it, America put forward CTBT, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. All tests need to be banned on the ground, under the ground, in the ocean or in the sea. I mean, or the space. Then where else? But still, India have doubts, and those were realized later. And America conducted nuclear tests. Where? In the computer simulated tests. And we don't have the technology. So always the India was cornered, but our policy is very clear. It's for the peaceful purpose. Though we have the bombs and everything, and no first use is our policy. First we will not use at all. It's only for what? For only a deterrence. Okay, we have the some weapon so that others will not attack us immediately. At least think twice before they are attacking us. A nuclear deterrence we call it for that purpose. So we are become the responsible nuclear state. The reason why we have even exemption from America under 123 agreement. Okay, civil nuclear deal also we have. Then in the process, when you are using nuclear technology for peaceful purposes, but technology once you have that can be used for constructive or destructive. If uranium plutonium is there, you may use for the bomb purpose or for your cancer treatment or for your power generation. So that's called dual use technology. Okay, the knife is there. That knife can be used to cut the apple as well as cut the neck. అంతే కదా, చేతిలో ఉంటే సింపుల్ గా యాపిల్ తీసుకుని హాయిగా తింటాం లేదా you can simply cut the neck of other person, you can kill it. The dual use technology. So this nuclear related especially you have to control. So with that intention this Wassenaar arrangement came, and India is member of Wassenaar arrangement. So in 2023 it's going to be on this, and India joined in this group in 2007 itself as the 42nd participant as such. So when this nuclear issue says, the main intention of this Wassenaar arrangement is to regarding this transfer of conventional norms, as well as regarding the dual technology issues, they will take care, and established in 1996 itself. So to take care of the multilateral export controls and especially these dual use technologies, it's there. Okay. There is one more also apart from the Western arrangements. What is that? Australia group. Okay, that's also concerned with this missiles. Okay, related. Then MTCR, missile technology control regime, is directly concerned with the missiles, and India is a member of MTCR. India is a member of. Okay, that's what we say this Western arrangement, MTCR, missile technology control regime. Then another called Australia group. Also we have, but China is not. China is not the member of MTCR or Group or Western. Okay. All this 2017, 16, 17, we become the members of all this. And especially Australia group take care of chemical weapons. Okay. Related. Okay. Because chemical warfare the thing, so that has to be chemical and biological warfare. Something like corona, even there is nothing but some sort of a biological warfare. So this wanted to stipulate, okay, certain conditions, do this, don't do this, all the way. This is concern of this Australia group. So these things you just keep in mind of India's nuclear policies. If at all anything mains question, all the issues will be, and prelims specific doubts related. Any doubt? Then of course one more is international issue. Iran to review hijab law. In India too, the hijab issue is there, and similarly in Iran it is more. And finally, Iran agreed to review its own. Okay, after the continuous protest by the women of this against the what you call the very strict implementation of hijab, that too by a group. Okay, what is that group name? Who will take care? Who will patrol? Hmm? Just a minute. Yeah, Gusty Erhard. Okay, I think advisable to make note of this. GASHT. Gusty Ershad is Iran's dreaded morality police. Okay, they call this morality police. It's something like మనకి Valentine's Day రోజు Bajrang Dal and all these activities they will do. There's something like this. Okay, Ghashi Ershad is an Iran's dreaded morality force. So recently they had taken the custody of one woman, right? 22-year-old woman. Last time in the class we discussed, and in the custody she was died. What's her name? Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. So once the death of Mahsa Amini led to the protest, and this Gashti Arshad arrested her for her incorrectly wearing this mandatory hijab. So Garshi Arshad means, if we translate it in English, it's called guidance patrol. If you strictly use the word guidance patrol. So both the men and women is there in this force, and but generally they call morality police. It is a part of Iran's police force. Long back, when the hardline president, okay, Ahmadinejad, during his regime, it was done. So from 1983 onwards, wearing hijab is mandatory there. This patrolling force, Garshad, this was established only in 2006. Though this mandatory hijab issue is continuing from 1983 onwards, and 1996 the rules started getting in, but now we have to wait and see whether they are going to completely scrap this issue or any other part. Okay, so 2 months of the protest, they have done it. And what's happened to Indian hijab issue? Still pending in the Supreme Court. One, the High Court delivered judgment in favor of Karnataka. It upheld the Karnataka legislation, invoking the concept of essential practice. And when come to the Supreme Court, the division bench referred to division bench. Division bench, how many judges? 2 judges. So one judge said one thing, another judge said another. So there is no common point. So now it has to be referred to the constitutional bench. So still waiting in. It is yet to refer. Then, Indian origin, Krishna Vavila. He received the US Presidential Lifetime Award, as the persons and place is important. And Indian origin person wherever received the 2 other countries lifetime award, no doubt an important from our okay, competitive exam point of view. So he's an Indian American for his contribution to his community and the country. And he's from Andhra Pradesh, founder, chairman of the Indian Studies, okay, Foundation for Indian Studies. There are any other awards, okay? This I think you can just keep in mind. Then Ukraine President Zelensky named at the Times 2022 Person of the Year. Okay. So for his courage in resisting Russian invasion. So here quick recollection is 24th February 2022. Russia invaded. At that time we feel the 1 week, 10 days war, but it's still going on, and we have to wait and see finally what is going to happen. Then of course finally PT Usha became the president of Indian Olympic Association. Now she is the first woman to heading this one. So in its 95 history, the first time she matters. Okay. Then one more government program. Number of programs are there, but now the New India Literacy Program was initiated in the 5 years period, 22-27, and 60-40 ratio. Okay, central funding is 60, 40 is things. they are making the things done. And 5 components are there: foundational literacy and numeracy, critical life skills, occasional skills, basic education, as well as continuing education. So all these 5 areas was dealt in this. As launched now, always advisable the latest one. So supporting states and union territories among non-literates, age group of 15 and above. Okay, they're taking. This is nothing but adult literacy program. So full form also NILP, keep in mind. So the sharing is 60-40, though it's not mentioned. Central government and the 60 is to 40 is a sharing ratio. They will do this. Then Agni missile was recently launched, Agni 5. Okay, of course, number, this is a continuous process. Agni is the intercontinental ballistic missile. Is it surface to surface, surface to air? Surface to surface. Okay, so once you made it like this, no, from here, once launched, it goes as like this. Okay, surface to surface, a long range missile. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6 we have. So one is around 1000. So minimum of starting with the range of 650 kilometers onwards, it's continuing. So 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, like this. Okay, range. Now this can carry the nuclear warheads also. Okay, Agni related. So its operational range minimum 5500 to 8000 kilometers. It can do so. And its speed is 24 Mach. And a nuclear warhead of 1500 kg it can carry the issue. So this is called ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. What are the other missiles? And this sort of missiles was possessed by only US, Russia, China, France, and Israel. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. India is the 6th country. So no others have. So Agni, we have the long range. Prithvi is the medium range, surface to surface. What is surface to air? Trishul, surface to air. Air to air, Akash. Then our cruising missile, BrahMos. Anti-tank missile, Nag. Okay, like this. Those, at least remember those things. And from where the missiles launched? Where is this place? Abdul Kalam Island or Wheeler Island. Of course, now Wheeler Island renamed as Abdul Kalam. Which state? Orissa, Chandipur district. Okay, Balasur test range. Right. So 3-stage issues. We consider the father of missile development, Abdul Kalam only. Right. So who will manufacture all these things? DRDO. Full form? Defense Research and Development Headquarters. Sure. Hyderabad DRDO is there, but is it headquarters? ISRO Bangalore. Check those things. Then 7th edition of US India Naval Exercise Sangam. So long back they asked is Sangam, then we feel everybody Sangam refers to. So Sangam literature and everything, all the things. So don't be carry on by this. It's nothing but the naval exercise of US India and number of exercises with India and US. So the red flag, Tiger Trump, Yuddhabhyas. Recently only Yuddhabhyas we concluded on the line of control, right? Area itself with Uttarakhand. Then Vajra Prahar, All these are also concerned with India, US. Then, of course, the cricket, Ishan Kishan, the fastest double century. He made it up, right? So before him, whose record it is? Chris Gale, 2014 only, right? Yeah, 147 balls, 215. Now 131 balls, 210. Sehwag, had he made? So 2011, Viren Sehwag. Any other Indian? Sachin మర్చిపోతే ఎట్లా? Sachin Tendulkar in 2010, Rohit Sharma, right? 2014 లో రోహిత్ శర్మ. రోహిత్ శర్మ 2 times అనుకుంటా కదా? 3 times రోహిత్ శర్మ 3 times. Okay. Yeah, right. So that's of today's current affairs. Any doubts? Any clarifications? Such lectures from anywhere else which are not mentioned. Right. Okay, right. Okay. Thank you very much. So meet you next week. Bye.